Good evening, children. Today we'll take the second unit, prose. It is a second lesson, A Nice Cup of Tea by George Orwell. A nice cup of tea. It is an expression that is used to describe something you like, something you are good at, or something you enjoy doing. If you are good at cricket, or gardening, or knitting, we use this. It's my cup of tea. Cricket is my cup of tea, or knitting is my cup of tea. If you don't like something, the expression we use is, it's not my cup of tea. That is in the negative way. Right. A Nice Cup of Tea is written by George Orwell. George Orwell was an English novelist, essayist, and critic. He was born on 25th June 1903 in India. He was a man of strong opinions who addressed some of the major political movements of his times, including imperialism, fascism, and communism. Orwell wrote literary criticism, poetry, fiction, and polemical journalism. He is best known for the allegorical novella Animal Farm in 1945. This lesson, A Nice Cup of Tea. So it's evening time and we'd all like to have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Yes. So I think tea has, even for this corona, what they say, the Chinese, what they say, have tea, at least 4 times a day. It's good for health point of view. Right. A Nice Cup of Tea by George Orwell, first published in the London Evening Standard on 12th January 1946. It is a discussion of the craft of making a cup of tea. It's not just very easy to make a cup of tea, and that too a good cup of tea, a nice cup of tea. So the word given is craft of making a cup of tea, for which Orwell gives his own 11 important rules or important points, and each point he considers or regards as golden rules. So now, I'm going to give only the outline or summary of the lesson. And time permits, I'll take the lesson. When everyone gets a book, I'll take the full lesson. Right. So what are the 11 important points which makes a cup of tea nice or good? First of all, one should use Indian or Ceylonese tea. Though China tea has virtues, there is not much stimulation in it. So first point he says, Indian or Ceylonese tea, is good when compared to China tea, which has no virtues. That means you don't get much stimulated or motivated when you take a China tea. One does not feel wiser, braver, or more optimistic after drinking a China tea. So it is clear now, when you take Ceylonese or Indian tea, it makes you feel wiser, braver, and more optimistic. Second point, that is second rule, tea should be made in small quantities in a teapot, which should be made of china or earthenware. The container we use should be earthenware container or a made of china clay or something like that. Okay. So second point is tea should be made in small quantities, not in a big pot, okay, or a cauldron or like that, not in a big vessel. It should be, if it is made in a small pot, it will be, okay, very tasty. Okay, it sounds, okay, good, or it will be tasty. So secondly, tea should be made in small quantities. Thirdly, the pot should be warmed beforehand. So when you read this lesson, I want all the students to read the lesson. It is very easy to understand. And even the boys will know how to make a cup of tea when you're, okay, in a hostel, or when you're, okay, after the school days, when you join engineering college, when you're, okay, when 2 or 3, okay, boys live in a, okay, rent a house and live. So it will be very useful. Okay. So even boys, you can learn how to make a good cup of tea. Yes. So third point, what he says, thirdly, the pot should be warmed beforehand. Okay. Warmed means you have to warm the tea vessel first. Okay, on a stove. Again, okay, what is the use of it? The tea will be tasteful. The fourth rule is that the tea should be strong. So tea lovers mostly, they like only, okay, strong tea. Okay, not a light tea, strong tea. So the fourth rule is the tea should be strong. One strong cup of tea is better than 20 weak ones. So that one strong cup of tea, even the quantity is less, if it is very strong, it is equal to 20 weak ones. The fifth point is that tea should be put straight into the pot. We should not use strainers or muslin cloth. Muslin bags mean cotton, okay, 100% cotton cloths, okay, to strain. So usually we do that. Okay, after making tea, we strain the tea, but what the author says, don't strain it. Okay, if you strain that, then it will not infuse properly, or it will not inspire, or it will not mix properly, and you will not get the real flavor, real taste of the tea. So what he says, don't strain the tea, let it be loose, the leaves, okay, let it be loose, okay, don't strain. So the fifth point is that tea should be put straight into the pot. We should not use strainers or muslin bags or other devices to imprison the tea. Okay. The sixth rule is one should take the teapot to the kettle and not the other way about. So in tea shops and all, you can see that the boiler will be always hot. It will be on the stove. Always it will be boiling. So you have to take the teapot to the kettle which is boiling, not the other way about. Again, it will spoil the flavor of the tea or the taste of the tea. The water should be actually boiling at the moment of impact. When the tea impacting, when it is connected, or when it is going to join or impact with the water, the tea leaves with the water should be in the boiling state. Next, that is a seventh point. After making the tea, one should stir it, or better give the pot a good shake. After which allowing the leaves to settle. So next, the seventh point is stir it and better give up it. The best way, what he says, instead of stirring in a spoon or something like that, you just shake the tea. The made tea, you shake it and you pour it in a cup. So the seventh point is one should stir it, or better give the pot a good shake, so that leaves will come and settle it down. So it will be again tasty. The eighth rule is that one should drink out of a cylindrical type of cup and not the flat, shallow type. Usually we do that cups, but what he says, okay, drink tea in a cylindrical, that's called as a breakfast cup, a cylindrical, okay, cup, okay, not the flat one or the shallow type, okay. It always, okay, what is the use of this? Okay, it is always cold before one has already started it. So when you drink, okay, tea in a flat, shallow type, before you start the tea, it gets cold. Okay, for that purpose, use a narrow cylindrical type of cup. Yes. The next rule, that is the ninth rule, is one should pour the cream of the milk before using it for the tea. So you remove the cream of the cream of the milk, okay, before using it for tea, because it gives some sickly taste. Okay, so what he says, remove the cream of the milk before using it. Why he says? Because it gives when you use the cream of the milk also, it gives a sickly taste and the flavor is destroyed. Yes. So the ninth point is one should pour the cream of the milk before using it for tea. And the 10th point is one should pour the tea into the cup first. This is the most controversial points of all. So everywhere this point is a controversial point. Okay, even sometimes we do the same mistake. Okay, after making the tea, okay, whether you have to pour the tea first or the milk first. Okay, and he says, okay, author says, pour tea first. Okay, if you pour the tea first, you can regulate the amount of milk. Okay, so one of the points he said is, okay, drink strong, okay, prefer strong tea, and to get a strong flavor, strong tea, you have to pour the tea first, okay, and then add milk. If you add milk, you cannot regulate the amount of milk, and to the milk you have to pour tea, and again it destroys the flavor of the tea. So first add tea to the cup and then add milk, so you can regulate the amount of milk. So the 10th point, one should pour tea into the cup first. This is the most controversial points of all. There are probably two schools of thought about this subject. For this subject, there are two points, whether to pour the tea first or the milk first. Lastly, that is the 11th point, tea should be drunk without sugar. Okay, it should be drunk without sugar, just to get the real flavor of the tea. If you add more sugar to it, then you are not getting the real flavor. The flavor gets destroyed. So if you sweeten the tea, you are no longer tasting the tea, you are merely tasting the sugar. So this you can even very well make by what? A very similar drink by dissolving sugar in a cup of hot water. So it will be like that. If you add more sugar, it is like dissolving sugar in a cup of hot water, and you are tasting only the sugar and not the flavor of tea. Yes. So that is the last point. Tea should be drunk without sugar. It is worth paying attention to such details as warming the pot. These are the things which we don't see, or we don't use it in our real life. Yes, warming the pot before use, and using water that is really boiling. So give more importance to these points. Yes. So these are the 11 important points, and he says they are golden rules. So people who only drink tea in order to be warmed and stimulated, need sugar to take the taste away. Some they say, the weather is very chill, and I want a cup of tea, or I want to get just motivated or inspired or stimulated. They add more sugar to the tea, to take the taste away. The author calls these people as misguided people. So who are called as misguided people? One who takes tea just to warm themselves or stimulate it. They need sugar. And they take away the real taste of tea. So author calls these people as misguided people. He advises them to drink without sugar for a fortnight. Fortnight means 2 weeks. And after that, they would never want to ruin their tea by sweetening it. After that, never in their life they will use more sugar and destroy the taste of tea or the flavor of the tea. So these are the 11 important points about making a cup of good tea. So this is the outline of the lesson. In the next class, I'll give the synonyms, antonyms, short answers, and I'll be taking the first and second non-detail also. Thank you, children.